Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Pink and Blue Podcast, episode 15, big 1-5. This is a special episode for many reasons. I couldn't come up with the reason. I do want to do something we've never done before, though, okay?
You know what? This is a special episode because it is the age that I was exactly 2 years ago from this moment, which is just crazy to think about, isn't it?
Anyway. I wanted to do something.
Continuing on.
I wanted to do something special for this special numbered episode. I mean, 15 is just a great number. I think we can both agree on that.
Mm-hmm. That is very true.
So today, what we're going to do is I'm going to go to a random number generator, and we're going to get this episode's lucky numbers. Fortune cookies title.
Okay.
So,
all right.
Today's lucky numbers include 78, 95, 98, 90, 16, and
all
4.
these are really high. Oh, there we go.
That concludes
a lot of
today's
90s
lucky
in a row.
numbers.
If you are one of the winners of our gift card giveaway, post your lucky numbers in the comments. And if they were any of those, you will win an additional $15 Red Lobster gift card.
Red Lobster. Who goes to Red Lobster anymore?
No one. That's why it's a Red Lobster gift card.
Yeah, that makes sense. But anyway,
yeah.
I think we're going to do that every episode from now on.
Just put lucky numbers in there?
Yeah. Because, like, what if the number comes up? Then it's like, full circle.
That's true. That's true.
So, yeah, that's going to be a staple now, I think.
Cool. Good idea.
If I remember to do it next time. But anyway,
won't. That's okay.
I got my question, as usual.
Let's
I told you before, I gave you some time to think. You do have your answer, right?
I do.
Awesome.
I
have my answer. So, Henry, what is your favorite flag?
An excellent question. And, you know, as a true patriot, a strong believer in the American spirit, I'm going to have to go with the classic flag of our very own country, the Isle of Man.
That's okay. I knew you weren't going to say the U.S. of A, but I did not expect. I did not expect the Isle of Man.
They just have a cool flag. I like that it is entirely red and then it has the 3 legs sticking out in the middle.
Yeah, it's great.
As a resemblance of the 3 legs of man.
Right. I looked up flags before this. I've got a few. I've got a few of my personal favorites.
Is one of them Nepal?
One of them is not Nepal. Nepal has the worst flag imaginable.
There we go.
So
I'm glad. Thank you.
It's terrible. It's so bad.
I'm glad we established that.
It's so bad. It's not even flag
not even a
shaped.
freaking square.
It's not. It's like a half a Christmas tree.
I guess rectangular.
It's a half Christmas tree, and that's all it will ever be, essentially.
Very true.
But some of my favorite flags: Greece, South Korea, Hong Kong, Turkey. Those are some of my favorites, but also Japan, but specifically the old Japan flag, not the new one.
Ooh, what is the old Japan?
Because the new one is just like
the dot,
the red dot on the white background.
Oh,
the old one,
the one with like all the stripes.
It's the one with all the rays because it's the land of the rising sun.
Sorry. Gotcha.
I like that one a lot better.
Is there a reason that they?
I feel like it symbolizes the rising sun a lot more.
No, that makes a lot more sense.
Yeah.
Why did they take the rays out of it?
I like that one better than the new one, but the new one's cool too. I say new, but it was changed like forever ago.
Like, again, it's not my favorite flag, but it's cool.
Yeah.
Speaking of flags in the American spirit, Kanye's first rally was...
I don't know why you're bringing this up, because you didn't even hear about it until I told you before.
No, I didn't, but you told me, and now I'm really interested to talk about it.
We should get this over with, because it's not very... It's kind of interesting. It's kind of interesting.
We've recently talked about him, you know. So this is a big news.
Currently, the day and time we're recording this is July 19th, and it's 10:50 p.m., exactly 5 hours and 50 minutes ago. Kanye West held his first rally in South Carolina. Is it South or North Carolina? Fuck it, it doesn't matter. He held his first rally. It was an hour long, and he made some interesting remarks.
People loved it. I'm actually looking at it right now.
Yeah.
And he railed against Harriet Tubman, which is just a great move.
Yeah.
I mean, we all hate Harriet Tubman, right? Terrible person.
He said that Harriet
Awful.
Tubman did not free the slaves because she led them to work for white men. We're going to move on from that one. I don't think we have anything to
it.
say.
That was the whole statement, and I think that you can make your own decisions about that one.
Kanye also said abortion should be legal, but everyone that has a child should receive $1 million. That is a statement that he did make. So that's about all I've got to say on that.
All right. I did not hear about that one.
Yeah,
that's an interesting point.
But I mean, the reason I want to talk about it is because last time we talked about this, I think 2 episodes ago, you were like, I'm pretty sure this is a joke. And now...
I thought it was.
And I was like kind of halfway. I was like, this could be a joke for like an album.
I was
that he
pretty
wants
sure
to
that
drop.
it was a joke. And you know what? Now that I've seen his statements, I am actually 100% sure that it is in fact a joke.
It could still be a joke, but now
it's
I'm
not
worried.
a joke. We're so screwed.
It's oh my god. So,
all of our choices are so bad.
Yeah. I mean, Kanye is
either...
barely a choice because he's not eligible to be
true.
voted for in
not.
some states. But
imagine him pulling out the win, though.
He's not. So
he's not going to. But I'm just saying.
Currently,
imagine if he did.
If Kanye filled out all of the correct forms to be voted for in the rest of the states where you can still meet the deadline,
you can do that.
Yeah. You would have 306 electoral votes. You need 270 to win. The odds are against him.
He is a very popular guy. People like Kanye.
Here's the thing, though. I think the only people voting for Kanye is going to be people that haven't voted before.
Yes. And
people
also,
that
they're not going to vote for him because of his policies. They're just going to vote for him and be
because
like,
Kanye.
Yeah, dude, it's Kanye.
Yeah.
Dude, it's freaking Kanye.
The people who vote for him are the people who don't care about politics, but they're like, he do make music, though. And that's it.
Dude, some of his albums do kind of slap, though.
Yeah. I don't think
his wife do be made out of 80% plastic, though. That's kind of cool.
I don't think he's taking votes away from either the Republican or Democratic Party.
I'd like to think that he is. He's not, but I would like to think that he is.
It's so marginally small, it doesn't even matter. I don't know why he even decided that this was a thing.
Even remotely a good idea.
I don't know anymore.
They haven't updated his Wikipedia page to say presidential candidate.
Candidate.
I think personally that is ridiculous.
Does Wikipedia list if you're a presidential candidate? I feel like that's just not a thing worth doing.
I don't know. Maybe.
Because so many people,
Trump. Let's look this up.
So many people run for president. It's like, what's even the point?
Like Donald Trump's Wikipedia page says President of the United States.
Yeah, because he is.
Barack Obama's Wikipedia page says 44th President of the United States.
Okay.
And Kanye West's Wikipedia page says 46th President of the United States.
It does not. Maybe it was just edited. I don't know.
That's right. Not yet it doesn't, but... I don't
get it, man.
This has been... Why did this all have to happen this year?
Look, okay, I don't mean to get political. I hate the Queen, okay? I've said this before.
Of England?
The Queen of England, yes, specifically.
Why?
Well, I hate England. I hate the UK.
Why?
That doesn't matter, but one thing...
Politics.
One thing I can appreciate about the UK's government is that you can only be the prime minister if you're already in the government, in Congress, or it's not called Congress, Parliament, whatever.
Yeah, I know.
In the U.S.,
I get the idea.
Anyone can run, which means Kanye West can run. I don't get it.
That it is a better idea to just be able to run for one position in government. And because you can just lobby for your own points infinitely in the United States. You're like, oh yeah, actually I was in Congress and then I went up to this and now I'm going to try to run for president.
Right.
And you can consistently change your message as many times as you want. That was one of the reasons that I really liked Bernie Sanders, was solely because I don't agree with all of his policies, and he's very liberal, and a lot of people aren't really ready for that.
Yeah.
But he has been super, super, super consistent with all of his points throughout his political career.
Yeah.
While everyone else is like, well, I mean, yeah, remember that one time that I said I hated gay people? Well, I really meant that I hated people who hate gay people. So vote for me. Like, they change. It's just like redact on previous statements and go back and change things to try to appease their political image. And I feel like there's just no genuinity to genuine, it just doesn't feel like you're running for the people of the country that you're supposed to be ruling over. It's just like, yeah, I got this position, and it's kind of cool.
Yeah. I mean, for a lot of people in government, I feel like it's a job, and that's all it's ever been and ever will be. It's running the country is what you do. It's not really.
But there's a lot more to it, obviously.
Yeah.
But some people just see it as that, which is sort of a problem.
Yeah, and then there's people who, take bribes from companies and stuff, and then the companies control the government, and it's like, I don't know. This is too much. I can't.
We love capitalism.
I'm a big fan of the English government, okay? I'm going to say it right here.
I'm going to be honest. I hate the UK. I hate England.
I
but
hate
I love
the Queen.
their government.
The Queen sucks.
Quote Jackson.
Yeah. Quote
I like the Queen. I hope she never dies.
I do want... Okay, well, she's...
They've had one ruler in the time that we've had 11 different ones. And I'm not saying... I think that changing who is in power can be a positive thing, especially if a country's ideals and societal practices continually evolve and change, but also consistency is sort of important as well.
I don't know if it's fair to call the Queen the ruler.
Okay.
Because she doesn't
right.
do anything.
Yeah, she's kind of just there.
She sits on her lazy old bum.
Why do you hate the Queen of England so much?
Because I just hate the idea that if I live there, I give money to the Queen and then she just doesn't do anything.
That's true.
She just enjoys
she's not even the one in power.
And corgis.
I was just going to say that. She has so many dogs.
She has a lot of dogs. When does she get time to walk all them? She doesn't.
Probably never. I'm sure
she's too selfish.
Lets them walk around. She lets them walk around the palace and just piss all over the carpets.
How much money do you think the royal dog walkers make?
Now that is a job for a high school student.
That's a job for a high school student. That's the job I need.
For a high school student. That's what I would like. I guarantee you those dog walkers make more money than I ever will in my entire life.
I'm going to go to school. I'm going to go to college overseas in the UK, and I'll get a work visa.
To walk dogs.
For the Queen. I think that's a kind of a dream job.
I'm actually really curious now.
They don't have dedicated dog walkers. It's probably just people who work for the just the butler service or whatever.
But they're technically still the royal dog walkers.
I guess so.
No, I don't. Okay, I don't think they exist.
Okay, yeah, I don't think they exist. But moving on to a brighter note, a non-political note. 2 days ago, on Friday, was World Emoji Day. Okay.
Uh-huh.
And well, I just want to say that 117 new emojis are being added to the emoji gallery. And
of which phone platform?
Apple, iPhone.
Wow.
Yeah,
are they going to be all
iPhone.
The super like inclusive ones where they have the people with robot legs and
don't say robot legs. That's not.
That is an emoji.
I know, but anyway.
I'm just saying.
So there's some emoji. I have a list here on my phone. Let me pull it up.
Are you gonna list like your favorite emojis?
I am gonna list my favorite emojis that are being added.
Okay.
There's the dodo, the ninja.
The dodo.
Okay. There's the
I like the idea of a ninja.
The like Italian like give me pizza hand gesture. There's that.
Okay, actually, I like that idea.
There's a beaver. This is the most important one. There's a boomerang. So I finally get
There
representation. So that's
There
good.
we go. There's no tune, is there?
And then there's also like an anatomically correct heart and lungs, which, you know,
That's cool.
I'll use those all the time,
Yeah.
among others.
Well,
but yeah,
I would like to make the point that Apple has, with some of their emojis, just tried to, like, I feel like they changed some of them just to, you know, appeal to the public eye, like how they changed the gun
like
emoji
how they
to
changed the
water
gun. Yeah.
Yeah. But also, they have some good inclusions. Like, if I'm ever in a conversation and I'm like, hey, what if a ninja snuck up on you and chucked a boomerang at your anatomically correct heart, and then, you know, like, that's a story that could easily be told through these new emojis.
Through emojis, right. No, that makes a
Only
lot of
these
sense.
new ones. Available on, I assume, to be iOS 14.
Okay, well, I said this wasn't going to get political, but them changing the gun emoji was a clearly political move.
Of course it was.
I think that's so stupid.
They were like,
it's
we stopped gun violence.
No, they did not.
We actually changed every single rifle in the world
To a water
into
pistol.
into a Nerf water gun.
But
every single gun.
Nah, I think it's stupid because it's like everyone's just going to use it as a gun still. That doesn't really change anything, you know?
It's sort of just colorful and fun now
Plus
instead.
it's like why do we have to why do we got to change the gun? Who cares?
Yeah, and also, why does it have to be a political issue?
Like okay, so I think a lot
just
of people
have a gun emoji and a water gun emoji.
Yeah.
Like,
I think a lot of
it's
people
an
make
emoji.
the
Who
argument
cares?
that like, oh no, children, we can't have their, you know, young virgin eyes look at guns, gun bad.
virgin eyes.
But like Apple has some, like, all devices pretty much have like parent mode thing. I don't know, parent control modes.
Parental controls.
Parental controls. There we go. We got it eventually. They all have like parental
That's good.
controls settings. So, like, why can't you just, I don't know, remove it or like change it if you're on like the kid version or whatever, if you've got parental controls on, you know? And then there's like, then you're angering the people who like guns, who have the right to bear arms, because then it's like, you're getting rid of guns.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
Some people are very sensitive about their guns,
Yeah. As we've seen.
as we've seen. What was that one girl on Twitter who was like going around at her graduation just like with a full on?
What's her name? I think it's Kate
AR-15?
Bennett, I think. Something like that.
Yes. Yeah.
Is that the exact name? Yeah.
That is the exact name.
She went to Kent State. Yeah.
Yep.
Which is in Ohio.
Which is where we live.
Yeah. So that's cool. I hate her.
People call her like the Kent State gun girl. I
She's-
just don't like. It's not even the fact that she, excuse me, like, it's just like, oh well, I have a right to bear arms. It's my gun, making you feel threatened. I'm like, yeah. If you walked up to me with an AR-15 and we're like, hey, are you feel threatened right now? I feel a little threatened.
Yeah, a little bit.
But like, also, I don't care if you really want to carry your gun around. That's fine. Just don't go around shoving my face in it. Like,
Yeah.
she also just is very obnoxious about the issue.
She is. Have you seen like
She goes out of the way to make people upset and disagree with her.
Yeah, like she has her YouTube channel or whatever because she got popular on Twitter
So
and then she
bad.
tried to
It's
like
so bad.
piggyback ride off of that fame and create her own thing or whatever. And she just goes around to different campuses and like tries to purposely anger people just to get like a
Tries
haha
to
funny
shoot
clip,
students.
you know, so she can
But, like, it's
clickbait
not
the
funny.
title.
Like, why though? Why do you have to do that?
And also she has this catchphrase. She's like, "You know I carry, right?" It's like, yeah, we do.
I'm actually carrying my team on my back. I actually have huge back problems from carrying this country with my gun.
I think she cares too much about guns.
That's what I mean. Like, there are a lot of other things that exist in life other than guns.
Yeah, I mean, it's whatever to be passionate about guns. That's fine, you
Yeah.
know. But
If you want to, more power to you.
sure.
Good for you. You found your interest. But also, don't go shoving it down other people's throats, especially if it's a gun, because you can kill people with those.
Right. I mean, it's like if I'm a journalist and I walk around interviewing people, and I'm like, freedom of press, I can ask you whatever I want.
Yeah,
That's
so
just annoying.
No one would like that. It's like the Hollywood Fix guy on YouTube who just goes around to like all the like famous TikTok houses and just like sits outside their house and waits for like them to walk outside.
That's so true.
I'm telling you, dude, this guy gets like millions of views from like posting like 12 videos a day, and all of them have like 3 million views of like these TikTok kids living in their house. We don't have TikTok, but you want to start a house, like gaming house for our podcast?
A game. Everyone on the podcast lives in the house.
Yeah. There's only 2 people in the house.
I'm down.
When we have guests in the house, on the podcast, they have to come stay in the house.
Yeah, they have to like rent a room.
No, they
$400 a night. No, okay, this is a way to make money.
I like this. We don't make any money off this right now.
We can charge them a premium too if they want to upgrade. Like, hey, I mean, we have this extra room.
Welcome to the Pink and Blue Podcast House Premium.
It has like a king bed instead of like the regular guest post room, which only has like a twin. I mean,
we put a mini fridge in there.
There's a mini fridge. There's nothing in the mini fridge, but there is one. So
you can bring your own food. We won't give you any, but we have some. Yeah, but we won't give you.
You can get soda and chips from like the CVS across the street.
This implies that we have to find a location that is directly across from a CVS.
I don't think that's too hard.
Yeah, you're probably right. And we don't have to specify the city either. We just have to look up apartments or houses across from a CVS.
Those are the best hotels. The hotels that have like a CVS right next to them or inside of them. Those are great. Because then like a CVS has everything you need.
That's true. I still find it crazy that every Walgreens is built on a corner.
Oh, yeah.
Because their slogans like on the corner of happy and healthy.
Yeah.
Like I appreciate the effort that had to be put into the architectural design of where my location of my Walgreens is.
My Walgreens, which is a store that you frequent very often, isn't it?
I think I've been to Walgreens maybe twice.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
It's only because there's a CVS closer to my house. It's like literally right over there.
Yeah, my CVS is like that way.
It's like a 5-minute walk from my house, whereas the Walgreens is in another city that is 10 minutes like to the east.
Maybe Walgreens should expand to not building on corners.
Dude, then their slogan wouldn't make any sense.
No, it still would. It did. I mean, I get what they're going for, but it's like...
I just respect the amount of effort that is put in to be like, yeah, actually, we can only build on corners.
Yeah, that is a lot of effort, because then you have to specifically go, like... They probably have a person that, like, scouts out their, like, all their property dealings and stuff like that, and they can only work on corners. They're like, why? This is the dumbest job
I'd like
ever.
to think that they accidentally, like, put a Walgreens in the middle of the street, and they were like, oh, shit, we have to build, like, the crossroads right here. So they just, like, drive through a building, and they just put a road there just so the Walgreens can be on the corner.
Yeah. I know that I was in New York City with my dad, and close to Times Square is the most valuable piece of property in all of New York City, and there's an Olive Garden there.
Is it Walgreens?
Which is just great. I mean...
And they get infinite breadsticks, the whole shtick?
Yeah, the whole shtick. But,
Yeah, but, I think Olive Garden infinite breadsticks is quite the concept. I saw this guy who was like, what if I just walked into Olive Garden and asked them for, like, all the breadsticks? Because, like, I can buy infinite. So, like, what if I just wanted them all up front? But apparently they have a policy where, you know, you have to finish the breadsticks they give you, and then they just bring you...
Is that an actual policy? You have to finish the breadsticks they give you?
Yeah.
That's smart on them.
Or,
they were
if
thinking
you want
ahead.
to be even smarter than that, bring a backpack or a purse with you, and every time the waiter walks away, shovel the breadsticks into your backpack.
That's still not infinite, though, unless you have an infinitely large backpack.
You don't, but you would still get more breadsticks, you know?
This is true, but who needs that many breadsticks?
I don't know, take them home and freeze them.
I don't know if this is a hot take or not, but the Olive Garden breadsticks are kind of overrated.
I'm going to be entirely honest. I have been alive for 17 years now, and I have never stepped foot inside of an Olive Garden.
Really? That's an accomplishment.
Never.
Right there.
I've also never been to KFC. I've never been to Taco Bell. I've never been to Popeyes.
I've never been into a Popeyes.
It's overhyped.
What is?
Not that I would know because I've never been in, but
Popeyes?
Popeyes, yeah. Well, they had like that new chicken sandwich come out. Everyone was like, "Holy shit, dude! Let's eat the new chicken sandwich from Popeyes."
Yeah, but what about the
And since I
McRib
work
from
at-
McDonald's?
That's true. Dude, what about the McBreakfast?
The McBreakfast? Can I get a McBreakfast?
Can I get a McBreakfast?
Can I get a sausage Sammy?
That's such a good video.
It is a good video.
Call Me Carson is a great YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Go check them out. That's the sponsor of today's video.
That tends today's sponsor. What were we talking about?
Where I was talking about Walgreens being built on corners.
Yeah. I forgot what I was gonna say. I was gonna say something
And then it
about
just,
Olive
and then
Garden.
just evolved into restaurants that I've never
Oh
been
yeah,
to.
I've
And then
been
you
the
talked about
most
how-
recent time I've been to an Olive Garden is on our 8th grade DC trip, where we stopped at
Oh,
an
sorry.
Olive Garden on the way back.
We stopped at a food court that is very known to give students like food poisoning. And guess what? 2 kids got food poisoning.
That's just part of their marketing. It's just like stop here if you
They
want
literally
food
go
poisoning.
there every year. And I don't know why they haven't changed it yet.
That's great.
But they haven't, so that's it.
Cool.
Our DC trip was fun, but also dragging a bunch of 8th graders around to see monuments that you already learned about in history, and then making them stay out late. Like, we didn't get back to our hotel room until like 10:30.
Yeah, that was the same
were,
for
like,
us.
Like, we were all tired. Well, I had this one teacher, and she was a little bit uptight.
Okay.
And she was like, guys, well, we have to get the most out of this experience. Like, I'm going to take you to an extra monument. And we were out later, like, an hour, or that didn't make any sense. We were out, like, an hour and a half later than all the other groups.
Yeah.
And so we got back to our hotel, and we were all like,
I
and we all
had
needed to shower, and,
so
you know,
we're
go
all
to
like
sleep.
grouped into rooms, right? So I'm in a group with a couple people. We had the security called on us.
This kid threw, you know, like a hotel, like, security card? Like, the cards that you get so you can
Yeah,
unlock
yeah,
your rooms?
yeah.
This kid is super good at throwing cards. So he walks outside his room and freaking chucks it at the door, and it literally sounded like a gunshot. And security came rushing up the stairs. They're like, what was that?
That's not good.
And this kid was like,
Wasn't me.
wasn't me, dude. I don't have a gun. Do you have a gun? They also put tape on the door so that we wouldn't, like, open them up and go hang out, I guess.
Yeah.
They're afraid of all the 8th graders sneaking out of their rooms to go. I don't know. What do 8th graders do?
We couldn't sneak
Like,
out of our
play,
rooms because
spin
the
the bottle?
security was there the entire night.
Well, the security was there too, but, like, they only had, like, maybe one security person, and, like, we occupied multiple floors because there were, like, 130 kids.
Yeah.
So
My class was
you know,
not
they had to
nearly
go
as
check
large.
one floor, go up. Really?
We had like 35 maybe.
Really?
Yeah.
Because, like, I would think of my school as incredibly small, and my grade consists of, like, 137 people, I believe.
Yeah.
Maybe more. Somewhere around, like, 150, maybe, we'll say.
Yeah. But I mean, yeah, my
But, like-
grade school was very small. It was a very small private school with 99% Italian kids.
Hey, yo, I'm gonna...
Not like that. Nope.
There's this...
No.
No? Okay.
But yeah, that was a fun time.
Right.
I think I would have enjoyed DC more if I hadn't already been there and seen everything that we saw on the
Yeah,
trip.
That was my problem. I had already been, like, twice because I have cousins that live down there.
Yeah.
And so when we went down, I was like, this is cool and all, but I've sort of already seen everything.
Yeah. I mean, the best part about going to DC was just eating at the one Shake Shack that's over there. By
And
the
Olive Garden,
by the
right?
Spy Museum. That was the best part.
I had Shake Shack today for dinner.
Cool.
Yeah. At my school, before we went on the DC trip, there was, like, the week leading up to it, we had this monument contest.
Yeah.
And so you had to look up the history behind your monument.
Yep.
You had to... So, essentially, it was to create your own monument. So you had
Okay.
to come up with a historical purpose as to why it was important to American history. and then you had to come up with like a design, and then you had to build an actual model of the monument out of like, I don't know, we were given like freaking popsicle sticks and paper and tape and markers and whatever.
Yeah.
And so it was like divided up into 4 groups. So like there were 4 chances for you to win first place, and the first place prize was the Trip VIP. And the Trip VIPs would get they got like to sit in whatever seat they wanted on the bus, which was just so important.
Mm-hmm.
And they got a pizza at the end of the trip. That was like the big thing. Everyone was
it
like,
was
oh
the
my
pizza.
God, shoot, dude,
even
pizza.
though when every time the pizza is a reward, it's like the shittiest pizza you could imagine.
Oh, it's so
It's like
bad.
square pizza, and it's like an hour old. It's kind of cold.
I will tell you all about it, because my group ended up we created the winning monument. We made a monument in the dedication to the Wright brothers.
Oh, okay.
And our Wright brothers monument actually ended up winning because we used a creative solution to build our monument, and it was the only one that wasn't about school shootings. So that was cool.
All the other groups had school
followed,
shooting monuments.
Literally, no joke, every single group in my in my section of like the 4 sections was about school shootings.
Yeah.
Which I'm not saying shouldn't be honored. They absolutely should. But
right.
like, if everyone else is picking that, you should probably pick something else. So we were like, yeah, we're from Ohio, and the Wright brothers are from Ohio. Actually, they're not.
Birthplace of aviation.
That's right.
It's on the license plate.
Boom.
It's got to be true.
That's right. I mean, yeah, dude, it was like pretty much it was invented here. So yeah, we made a little bit of a credit to the Wright brothers.
Yeah, that's cool.
And our monument was sick. I'm not gonna lie. Like, even looking back on it now, like 3 years later, I still think it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
But so we won the contest, and we didn't get our pizza until 11:30 p.m. of the last day of the trip.
That's great.
And it was the shittiest Domino's pizza I have ever seen in my entire life.
It's like Domino's pizza, but like...
It was a square. It was maybe like this big. It was cut into 4 slices. And it was like wet. It was just so bad.
That's
Why are there so
great.
many bad pizza places? Like, you would think that pizza is a really simple thing to make.
Yeah.
And yet, it's so easy to mess up.
Right.
How does that happen?
I don't know, but I do want to come back to this. I have a little story about our DC projects.
All right, let's hear
so
it.
the point of our DC trip was we go and you do a project on the monument, like a report, right? And when we go to see the monument, you give your report on the monument. You just list all the information or whatever. You give a little presentation. Except, obviously it's just you, so you don't have like a PowerPoint or whatever. So it was like a 2-part thing. We had like a PowerPoint and a thing we made that we show off like in class before we go to DC. And then in DC, the other half of the project was doing the presentation there, basically. We had...
Big stuff.
I don't think I've told this story to you before. So
Well,
we have like a month to do the project.
Please tell me you did it all the night before.
Here's the thing. I'd like to say I did, but I forgot when my presentation date was. I thought I was like very last on the list to go because we did it in days, and it was like 2 people per day. I thought I was like very last on the list to go. I was second on the list to go.
Oh no, dude.
I'm not going to lie. I didn't do any work. I didn't have a single part of the project done, which is how I ended up getting a 15 out of 150 on a project.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
But
wow.
It's all good because my buddy, who I won't share his name, he had a project done. He had a presentation. He had a thing built, and he got a 14 out of 150. So I'm pretty happy with that. I did better than someone who literally who literally had a project, and I didn't do.
And you didn't do anything.
I didn't do anything.
What were the 15 points even for? Like writing your name on the first slide?
I think it was getting up and doing the presentation without having one. But
They were
I somehow clutched that one out. So,
yeah, you clutched that one out by getting a 15 out of 150.
Oh my god, it was great.
Wow.
So the night before, the
I have a lot of
presentation.
respect for you, my friend.
Thank you. The night before the presentations, I had like the slightest hint. I was like, maybe I should start on it tonight. And then I second guessed myself. I was
Nah.
like, no, I'm like last on the list. I don't know why.
That's so stupid. Why would I do that?
That was dumb.
I took this class my sophomore year, so the year before this,
Yeah.
called AP Seminar. And this class centers around creating well, actually, I guess in this case, it's a series of projects.
Okay.
And so you write a paper, and then you make a presentation to go along with that paper. There's different ones. There's like individual research projects and then like group research projects and whatever. So for my, I think, let's see. This is like our second to last project.
Yeah.
Before our like AP test. And the AP test is literally to write a paper and then make a presentation, and you have to video the presentation and send in the paper. And sophomore year, even now, like I'm so much better at it, but public speaking was my one fatal flaw. Like I can't do it
Yeah, I feel you there.
for anything. So I took this class because I was like, you know what, I want to get better at it. And I did throughout the class, but like it was so nerve-wracking. So the second to last presentation in a series of presentations that we were making, this was like the one before the big one at the end of the year, I ended up getting sick. Like terribly sick. I had a fever of I think like 103,
Yeah.
which is the highest fever I have ever had in my life. And so it comes the day of my presentation, and I've been sick for like a day now. So my teacher was already like, okay, he's probably not going to be there. So I get a phone call. It's maybe 7 o'clock in the morning, and school starts at like 7:40. And, then it definitely wasn't that early because I had its second period. It was maybe 8 o'clock then.
Okay.
So school had just started, and I got a call from my buddy. He was like, hey, dude, my teacher's name is Dr. Beach. And he was like, you have to come in for your presentation. I was like, you're kidding me, right? Like, I'm literally at home right now in bed, like, I can't breathe or do anything. He was like, yeah, Dr. Beach says that if you don't come in and do the presentation, like, you can leave afterwards, but if you don't come in and do the presentation, she's going to flunk you. And I was like, what? And you have to dress up for these, keep in mind.
Yeah.
So I put on full suit. That's not a word.
Nope.
Shirt, tie, blazer, pants. Go to school, 103 fever. I'm literally like coughing throughout this entire presentation. It was so bad.
That's terrible.
And so it has to be like a minimum length too. I think it was like 7 minutes or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sitting up here like freaking, eyes watery, itchy. I'm coughing. I'm sneezing. I'm very obviously sick. And my teacher's like, I mean, it was okay. Like, you made me come into school to do this goddamn presentation while I was sick, and you're just telling me it was okay.
It was just okay. It's like, whatever.
Because, like, I wasn't sick previous to the presentation. I had worked on this for probably, like, 4 weeks at this point.
Yeah.
It was just such bullshit, dude.
Yeah. I also
School's a
have to
good
dress
time.
up for, like, special presentations or whatever. But for me, it's a lot easier because I go to school in khakis and
Yeah,
a
you have a
tie and
uniform,
shit
right?
anyway. So
Yeah.
I just throw on a blazer
You
and
just
I'm
kinda,
like,
like,
yep, now
slide
I'm
a
more
blazer over there.
professional.
Look at me, I'm styling.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But
Is
anyway,
it nice? Do you like having a uniform?
yeah, I do. I think it, I don't know why. I just think it's better.
Because, I mean, I don't know. I've always just worn, like,
Yeah, just whatever.
cargo shorts and a t-shirt. Like this.
Right. There's one tweet on
As
Twitter.
long as I don't, as long as I'm not walking around showing my shoulders.
You know how everyone would wear like the cargo shorts and like the green Zelda t-shirt?
Yes.
Yeah. That look is fire. Anyway. But
That's the look.
I think uniforms are good. Cuz you're not I don't know why. They're just good. I like them.
They just are. Part of me would really like to just walk into school someday with just like white shirt, tie, belt, khakis, just like C.
Yeah.
No one else is going to be wearing it because we don't have uniforms, but like I'll just show up.
Right.
I mean, I showed up in a suit and no one questioned it, so. Especially like we have spirit days and stuff too where you can just wear like totally random clothing. Some of my friends freaking slay on the spirit days.
We didn't have a single dress down day last year for me. Like, because we
Really?
wear uniforms every day to school, and we didn't get a single dress down day. It's ridiculous. We have days where we're
That's
allowed
kinda
to
weird.
wear school apparel. So, like, if you have, like, a T-shirt from the school, then you can wear that. Or, like, sweatpants or whatever. But we don't have, like, dress down days where you can wear whatever you want,
Oh, there goes my light.
which is unfortunate. But it is what it is. Well, I do want to shift topics a little bit. I
ahead.
want to talk. Have you heard about the Twitter hack that happened a couple days ago?
I did, yeah.
Yeah. This is interesting because how do I explain this? So basically, there's this guy, right?
Yeah.
There's this guy. Nobody knows
There's a guy.
who hacked Twitter or whatever.
Yeah, no one found out who it was, right?
No, but people assume that it's either
Sorry.
you're good. It's either some like a higher up at Twitter, who's just like really good about concealing their activities, or someone hacked someone who is higher up at Twitter. Someone hacked their Twitter account and got access to like
'Cause
essentially
admin
the
privileges were leaked and
admin
stuff, right?
dashboard or whatever.
Yeah, admin like dashboard images were leaked, right? Like people
Yeah,
know
they
what
were.
it looks like now.
Which is
Yeah.
a very scary thing for Twitter. You don't want that
Yes.
stuff leaked. That's bad.
You absolutely do not.
But basically all the hack was he hacked into he got access to, I should say, like a lot of
Wasn't
people,
it like
a lot of famous people
120?
accounts.
It was like over 100, wasn't it?
What?
Like famous people's accounts.
I don't think it was that high. I think it was like 30 people.
Okay.
But like, so just to name a few: Bill Gates, Warren Buffett, Elon Musk,
Really?
Kanye West. There's a couple more, but
Support me in my presidency. We'll trade bitcoins.
basically the tweet was just he said a tweet for just like all the accounts. So it was like essentially the same tweet, and it was just,
Yeah, he
hey,
just copy
I'm
and
feeling
paste.
generous. If you send Bitcoin, I'll double it and send you the Bitcoin back, which is an obvious scam. But when it's coming from Bill
Yep.
Gates, maybe not. I don't know.
I mean, he's got a lot of money, dude. He's feeling generous. He just wants to give it out. I'll take some free money from Bill Gates, right?
Exactly, and they just left their Bitcoin address. So this guy made like $117,000 off of people sending Bitcoin to Bill Gates and Elon Musk.
I think the reason that that's really ridiculous is only because if all these billionaires were really feeling generous, they would just give it to you. They wouldn't ask for something and then be like, "Yeah,
Yeah,
I'll
that
send
makes
you
no
double back."
sense. That makes
They
no
would just
sense.
send you bitcoins.
But here's the catch though. At the end of the tweet, they put only going on for the next 30 minutes. Then people think, "Oh, shoot, this is a time constraint. I have to act right now." And so people don't think, and they just do it.
No, yeah.
So
That's an intelligent way of doing it. I mean, I feel bad for all the people that were scammed and had to send bitcoins to Bill Gates and Warren Buffett and Elon Musk, but
yeah. Oh yeah, and
it's
Mr.
a
Beast
clever
was the other
scam on
one.
his
I knew
part.
I was missing one.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he probably just logged into like a bunch of rich people's,
Right.
Not that Mr. Beast is like loaded, but
No,
he's
but like
literally known to give out money.
yeah, that's the strategy with Mr. Beast. He's known to give out money, so people would obviously do that, which kind of sucks.
Yeah. I mean, again, that's like a really smart play on the hackers' part.
It is. It sucks, but I mean, good on him.
But yeah. Well, I mean, maybe not good, but
Bad
you
on
got
him.
some brains. You got some brains there, kid. Nice job.
But like, I was thinking after all this had happened, like, okay, this is probably the least that could have happened. This is like the least important thing that could have amounted from any of this, because he could have theoretically gone into like the president's account and tweeted literally anything. That has a lot of power behind it. Like,
Yeah.
what if he tweeted, "Hey China, we're going to war," and then just like,
Aha!
and then like, what? I mean, that's a lot of power you're messing with. Like, what if this isn't my idea specifically? I heard this on a podcast, but what if on Elon Musk's account, he just tweeted like random nonsense about Tesla, like, and it became like a whole market manipulation thing. So it's like stock prices changed and stuff like that. It's It's like that.
Yeah.
You have a lot of power to
Absolutely
do whatever you want. I mean, if you don't have like credibility and resources behind what you're doing, it's not really gonna follow through. But it's still pretty scary to think about.
I find it interesting though. I actually saw a video. I didn't click on it, so I guess I literally just looked at the video. But
yeah,
and it was explaining about how Donald Trump's, I mean, he's the president, like why his account didn't get hacked or anything like that. I just thought that was strange because, as you said, obviously there could be a lot of power to that, and like he is known for being extremely rich.
yeah. So
But I feel like tweeting out as the president, being like, "Hey, I'm feeling generous. I'm giving out bitcoins." Like people would immediately be suspicious of that.
yeah, so Twitter's immediate response to all these like tweets going out was just lock every verified person's ability to tweet, which is
Oh,
an interesting strategy.
indeed it is.
Which not what I would have done.
That's a lot of people, actually.
But that's a lot of people. Yeah, I don't know. I don't have a number on that, but that is a lot of people. A lot of people are verified, so that kind of sucks. Because if you're just like not that big of a person on Twitter, then
Dude, how am I
just
gonna get
happen
my
to be
daily
verified, then
updates
it's
from
like,
Barack Obama?
yeah, I mean, oh yeah, Barack Obama was hacked too. That's another name.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. So,
I don't know.
but what was I gonna say? Shit. I don't remember.
Something about Twitter and the amount of
I
power that it holds
know
to
I was
hack into
gonna-
someone's Twitter account.
Hold on. Let me check my notes.
Go ahead.
I gotta check my notes.
My stylus pen.
That's unfortunate. I don't remember. I don't know. It's a big deal. That's all I have to say about it.
It is a big deal.
Yeah. Could have been a lot worse than it was, so.
I feel like it's always, or not always, almost perfect that like Twitter has become a lot more of a news source because of, Donald Trump's heavy use of Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
Like again, imagine the ramifications if someone logged into his Twitter account.
Right. It's huge.
That could be terrible. We could start World War III like that.
Yeah. Especially if you,
Which
I mean,
we almost did.
it's one thing to say, like Donald Trump, but a lot of other world leaders have, Twitter accounts. Probably, obviously, not as famous as Donald Trump, but
Yeah, I'm using him as an example because he's
Right.
literally like notoriously known to be like, "Hey, Twitter world."
yeah. But I think a lot of
Actually,
people
that's
don't
O.J.
realize, like,
Simpson.
whoever the Australian Prime Minister is, he probably has a Twitter account that someone could get into. you
Yeah,
know?
I mean probably.
Probably. You're looking up the name right now, aren't you?
No, I'm not, but
Oh.
I could.
No, don't.
Okay, I'll stop then.
Okay. But it was interesting, I guess. What else was I gonna say?
I mean, there was a lot that happened this week, but like other than the coronavirus going on still, like
Yeah.
the world is still at a standstill. Numbers are going back up where we live, actually, which is kind of terrible.
Yeah, I
Well,
just
not
got
kinda terrible. It's very bad.
our school just like released a statement on like, hey, here's what we're doing when we go back. So,
Oh, really?
and yeah, so what they're doing is it's a very weird schedule. So like everyone's put into two groups. So basically, like class sizes are halved essentially.
Yeah.
So it's like, just to give an example of the schedule, we have 9 periods in a day. And what they did is they reduced it down to 8 and instead gave 1 period specifically dedicated to lunch, which is like whatever. That's fine. But it's like, for example, on Monday, I'd go 1st through 4th, and then I have the option to stay for lunch, and then I could leave after like 4th or whatever if I didn't want to have lunch there. Or, alternatively, I just stay for the rest of the day until school officially ends so I can get, like, picked up by my parents or then go or whatever, right? And then on Tuesday, it would be the opposite. So you didn't have to show up until lunchtime or until 5th period, and then you stay 5th through 8th, and then you can leave. And
That's
it
kinda
repeats
weird.
like that, alternates. So it's like
My
some
school.
classes you'd only be in, or some days, or there's
Yeah.
okay. Some, you'd only be in some of your classes like 2 days a week. And in the
Yeah.
others, you'd only be there 3 days a week. So it's weird. It's just like, I don't know how much I like that. I don't actually. I do. I don't like it at all.
Our school has not come out with anything yet. They published a survey saying, would you rather do a hybrid version of school or an entirely online version of school? So what I'm thinking, based off of that, my prediction is that we're either going to have a combination of like online learning where you might, you'll stay home like Monday, you'll go in Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday, and then you'll stay home Friday.
Yeah.
They sent out a thing where we live. So my school is based on 2 different counties in Ohio. So there are people from different counties that go to the school. So they're actually dividing up the students who can be at the school at a certain time, based on which county they live in.
Based on the counties, yeah.
But they haven't said anything so far, which is really weird. We're actually getting delayed when we go back. Normally we start around August 19th, and now we're not going back until the 31st.
Really? I still go back the same day.
Yeah. They literally have not said anything yet, so I
Yeah.
assume that they are trying to just figure out a plan.
That's
I'd
kind of
like to think.
insane. Yeah.
But like, that's almost 2 extra weeks.
Yeah. Kind of a big deal. We have to wear masks all day.
I'm sure we will too.
So that's fun. I took the ACT the other day on Saturday.
Oh, how was it?
It was, well, so I couldn't do it at my school because originally they weren't offering the test at my school. So I was like, okay, I have to sign up for another
Yeah,
school.
they don't
whatever.
offer it where I go.
And then they offered it. Like, they opened registration for my school, except the seats filled up so quickly that I couldn't switch, unfortunately. Yeah. So I was at a different school, which you will know, but I will not say.
Gotcha.
For reasons. So,
Fair.
We were there. Everyone was put into, like, a big cafeteria area. And then all the desks were, like, 6 feet apart, whatever. It's very similar to testing in, like, Japan or South Korea, if you've ever seen that stuff. Like, all the desks are stationed, like, all in neat little rows, and everything's, an adequate distance apart, so there's no cheating or whatever like that. Like, if you just look up, like, testing day in South Korea or something like that.
Yeah, no, I know what it looks like.
It's basically that, but we were in a cafeteria. And, like, everything was really slow because they have to, like... Okay, it's like you have to bring your admission ticket, and then you have to get your ID checked and whatever. And then they have to seat you, which takes forever because everyone's supposed to stay 6 feet apart, and it's stupid.
I sort of meant, how do you think you did on the test? But the process is cool, too.
It wasn't. I think I did fine.
Good.
The ACT is just the SAT, but faster. That's all it is.
I haven't actually taken either yet.
Yeah.
Which is bad. I have an SAT scheduled for August 29th, which, now that I'm thinking about it, is actually so weird because that's the Saturday that I go before I go back to school.
Yeah.
But my school actually offered the SAT, but it was like the week after my dad died, and I was like,
yeah, just not a good time.
I'm just not feeling it right now. I think I'm gonna wait. And then it was like coronavirus, and I was like, oh, yeah. Break.
I feel you there. We both missed that one test day because I was sick at that time.
Yeah. And so I literally just haven't had an option to take it since then.
Yeah.
I've taken practice ones. I think I got like a 1300, but...
A 1300? That's insane.
Well, I think I could do a little better.
Okay. All right. I don't even...
I have faith.
I took the ACT, right? But I don't even know, like, what score I'm aiming for. I don't even...
Like high 20s, 30s?
I know like 35 or 36 is like the top score or whatever.
Yes.
Obviously, I'm not going to get like a 35 or a 36.
36 is the top.
Yeah. But I don't know what's
got a
like
36 on the SAT.
Compared to how I do on the SAT. I don't know how that like correlates in score-wise to the ACT, so I don't know.
Yeah. And the top school that I want to go to has been test optional now for like the past 2 years.
Oh, okay.
And I have a feeling that my GPA is definitely good enough to get me in.
Yeah.
So
Both
I mean,
of the
I still
schools-
really want to take the SAT just to have, you know,
Right.
it's nice. I mean, I'm not really traditionally a great test taker. I don't
Neither
feel
am
like
I.
that's the best, example of my educational intelligence. But,
Mm-hmm.
if I have to take it and I do somewhat well and I can improve my score, then I'll submit it.
Sure. But yeah.
I feel like standardized testing as a whole, I feel like is going to be pushed out pretty soon of the educational system.
I hope so.
Because
I
the
wish it
amount of
was
flaws
like
that have been pointed out
4
in the
years
system,
ago. That would have been great.
I wish it was. Yeah, of course it would. But it's just not. It's just not a perfect assessment of a student's knowledge.
It's really
And
not.
especially now with like colleges being so expensive, and people really want to know if they're going to get their money's worth out of their education, and if they're not going to fully accept you just because of like, a test score that like maybe you're having a bad day or you were sick or, maybe you're just not a good test taker.
Yeah.
Like, and schools can literally just accept you and be like, ooh, like, oh, you had a 5.0 GPA? That's so cool. Oh, you got a 600 on the SAT?
Nah.
Sorry about that.
No, but I feel like some schools are
it
like,
just
if you
feels like
do
such a
very
fluke.
well in one category, they're just like, yeah, sure. It's whatever.
Yeah, okay.
Sometimes they get that it's like, you do better in one area than the other, but
Yeah.
generally I would agree with you. Testing is really stupid and dumb.
Yeah. Well, I just think it's because, like, obviously not everyone learns in the same manner. So it's like standardized tests are standardized.
Yeah.
Like, it's not, there's no variability. It's
The
like, all right,
tests
you
are
all
so...
take-
I don't think they're a good, like...
I just don't think they're a good representation of, measuring a student's.
Yeah, they're not a
educational
good
capacity.
representation of, like, what you know and what you can do as a student. Like, I think
Yeah.
the reading and English sections on the ACT and the SAT are really stupid.
I think they're really easy.
They're really easy, but they're really stupid. Some people struggle with them.
Agreed.
If you're
Yeah,
a
so- okay,
foreign,
well, I guess-
if you're a foreign
guess not-
student, that has
I
to
guess
be
not
super
easy.
hard.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, I feel like
I mean,
that's
taking
just
anything
completely
in a different
unfair.
language. I feel bad for all the. I guess not feel bad because they've been testing to do it, but like anyone who has taken AP like foreign language class, like props to you. That's
Yeah.
so awesome. I sometimes I wish I kept with Spanish, but I'm changing it so that I can learn computer languages instead of people languages.
I almost did that with Latin. I almost went to AP Latin 4. But then I was like, yeah, no. I don't
was like,
think so.
No one speaks Latin.
That's not the reason, but okay.
No, I don't. I just like to poke fun at you a little bit.
I know. Everyone
Latin is
does.
cool, but like again, no one speaks Latin.
I get that. Thank you. I
know.
That's the only argument people have ever brought up to me for why I shouldn't take
But
Latin.
it's a cool language.
Yeah, it is. How would you know?
Plus, you seem intelligent because I've heard people speak Latin. I've heard you speak Latin. You sound cool.
I don't speak Latin.
I've heard you say sentences in Latin as an example that you know how to speak Latin, and they sounded cool.
Okay. That's fair. I can read
I'm
I
trying
can read
to pay
the words
you a
on
compliment,
government buildings.
and you are not. There you go.
And that's about it.
It's a skill that a lot of people don't have.
I guess so.
You're in the top 1%, Jackson.
I don't know about that.
7 out of 7 women just found you even more attractive.
Speaking of tests, Latin and Greek specifically, if you take, ancient Greek, not modern Greek, unfortunately, but if you take these classes, there's a pretty good, and you're in the U.S., there's a pretty good chance you also take the National Latin exam or the National Greek exam, which are terrible tests. They suck. We're
They are
forced to
bad,
take them
and I hate
every
them.
year, and they are just abysmal. They're terrible. Half the questions are mythology questions. So already we're like 50-50 on that. So,
Cool.
and then like half the other questions are really easy grammar stuff that everyone should be able to do. But then like some years, like the tests are like not that bad and they're pretty easy. It's just like, hey, how do you say this is this in language? And then you're like, oh, that's
yes.
B. That makes sense. And then other
Yeah.
times it's like, okay, so we've got this paragraph. This is the story of how Aphrodite did the one thing with Hades in the underworld and whatever, and it's this long paragraph, and only half the words are given to you, like only half the translations. So it's like you have to fill in the rest with knowledge, and then it's. But those tests
sounds
suck.
like a fun time.
They're terrible. You're forced to take them every year, and it's part of your grade, and it's great. I love it.
I would hate that.
They're just wonderful.
Yeah, we had stuff like that in Spanish, but it wasn't like nationally ranked. You only take your like official seal of. You can get a seal of or no, that's not what
bilingualness.
It's called. That's not what it's called though. It's something like that, but obviously that doesn't make any grammatical sense.
But yeah, so the nationally
there's like
ranked
a seal
part
you get
of
on
it,
your diploma.
the nationally ranked part of it is like, okay, if you do well enough, they send you a medal.
Wow.
So I'll have you know that I have like 3 silver medals.
Okay.
I don't think I got one for Greek though, because I suck at Greek.
You know, silver is second place, so you are second place.
I forget if I got silver freshman year or gold. I don't remember.
Wow.
They're in the trash though, so.
Consider me impressed.
But yeah.
Except that they're in the trash. You got to keep that.
Well, it's a little too late for that.
Well, okay, yeah, but those are priceless relics.
But screw Latin, that's why I dropped out.
There you go.
I'm still taking Greek though. Great decision.
Nope. No, it's not.
Okay.
It's okay, you're trying your best. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this has been episode 15 of the Pink Blue Podcast. Thank you so much for listening. Our socials will be in the description. You can find us on SoundCloud, iTunes, Spotify, and YouTube. I hope everyone has a great day, and thank you for tuning in.